It is my pleasure to present our distinguished alumnus and guest speaker, Sister Elizabeth Worley.
I'm tired just listening to all that. It is such a privilege to join my dear friend, Bishop Estevez, that we sent to you from Miami, the president of Bishop Kenny, Father Hooley, Principal Todd Orlando, and the faculty of Bishop Kenny, and all the parents, families, and friends who have gathered to honor you, the 2013 graduates of Bishop Kenny High School. These 4 years at Bishop Kenny have been a great investment on the part of your parents, your teachers, and most importantly, on your part. It is no surprise that the investment that has been made has been done so with the expectation of a rich return. As you step forward in a few minutes to receive your diploma, you are eminently prepared to achieve that rich return. I trust you've learned many lessons at Bishop Kenny that will serve you well for a lifetime. Complicated formulas of chemistry, very important. Complicated formulas of chemistry and calculus, the beauty of the written word articulated in the world's great literature, truth expressed in philosophy and theology, the gift to speak to the world community in many languages, the wisdom to understand history. As Winston Churchill told us, the farther back you can look, the farther forward you are likely to see. You've developed the capacity to explore, to analyze, to organize, to hypothesize, to communicate and convince, to collaborate, to negotiate, to build community, to think independently. You have the skills now to do it all. To do good and to do well, and to do so for a lifetime. All of this learning prepares you to work hard in college, to aspire to great things in life, to make a significant contribution to society, and as some of you told me, you hope to get a job. But in the end, the simplest thing I pray you have learned, and learned very well, is really the most important. Blessed Pope John Paul II told us the secret. When you dream of real and lasting happiness, it is Jesus you seek, and to seek him is to follow his way. God has created you, each and every one of you, out of infinite love. In all of history, you are one of a kind. And God wants to do unbelievable, phenomenal, surprising things in your life, way beyond your wildest dreams. So let him. Pope Francis recently tweeted, "Each one of us longs for love, for truth, and for life. And Jesus is all these things in abundance. So let him be your companion for a lifetime. You will never be disappointed." Several of you visited with me recently and shared your hopes and dreams for the future. To build a world community that would be marked by cooperation and acceptance. A world where every voice would be heard, where all would work for the common good. Where technology would make the world a smaller place. Where resources would be shared, dissension eliminated, and no one would live in fear. You graduates now take the lead in building this future. If you know the transformation you desire, then you know your task to help build a world community that recognizes the dignity of every person. Spend generously the gifts with which God has blessed you. Commit your life to building a world of justice and peace for every single person. As Dr. Carolyn Wu, president of Catholic Relief Services, has challenged all of us, work for the common good with uncommon excellence. A profound but simple statement, but very consistent with all that Bishop Kenny has taught you. Work for the common good with uncommon excellence. You told me that you valued your years at Bishop Kenny, where you learned the principles of hard work and dedication. You experienced the rigor of its academic life and the challenge to put your all into something wonderful. You honored the passion and the talent of your incredibly qualified teachers and affirmed that their support for you to reach your greatest potential has been unlimited. You expressed your gratitude for your parents and teachers who together have shaped you to become the person you are today. I stand here with you today in recognizing Bishop Kenny's incredible faculty right behind you. And I particularly note the dedicated history of the Sisters of St. Joseph, who have been part of the faculty of Bishop Kenny since it opened in 1952. I thank God for the gift of my own vocation to this religious congregation. As I sat, like you, with my graduating class in 1963, I knew that I was drawn to join the sisters. But I could not have imagined the privilege and the joy of living religious life now for 50 years. What a blessing it would be if several young men and women in this class of 2013 responded to God's call to the priesthood or the consecrated life. If you are the one to whom Jesus whispers his invitation, listen generously. Today you complete one very significant chapter in your young lives, but we don't gather to celebrate a conclusion. Instead, we celebrate a commencement, the beginning of a very bright future. To those of you who have been awarded some of the nearly 10 million in scholarship opportunities, very special congratulations. You should be very pleased with your work. Parents, how's that for a return on your investment? 10 million in scholarships. That level of excellence is a Bishop Kenny tradition. I recently looked back at some antique copies of the Shield. Is the newspaper still the Shield? Okay, antique copies, 1960s. And there at our graduating class, our class took 50% of the county awards in the state education scholarships. So all the other high schools, we got 50%. So keep up that tradition. Indeed, you are part of that legacy. I invite you to step forward into the future with incredible pride in your accomplishment as the newest BK alumni. As Pope John Paul II told the World Youth Day pilgrims in 2002, the future is in your hearts and in your hands. God is entrusting to you the task, at once difficult and uplifting, of working with Him in the building of the civilization of love. It is my privilege to invite you to embrace this glorious future with courage, with hope, and with great joy. Congratulations on your success.